The best thing about these YouTube live streams is that you can be late to your own live stream. Not that it's a good thing to be late, but I can, right? Let me just get my headphones on. No, why do I need headphones? There's no one talking to me live. It's all chat, isn't it? Let's see here. Where did the chat go? Live chat. Is that it? Is that the one? It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think I'm in the right spot. Okay, all right. We've got a couple of people on the stream. Let's go stream settings. Okay, that's probably a bit better. All right. Yeah, hey everyone. Thank you for joining in. There's a couple of things that I wanted to chat about today and stuff about our own stake pool. So it's a couple of questions that have been raised about a stake pool. So I thought I would just address it directly on video rather than having to write up massive blog posts or tweets and whatnot. So there's a couple of questions that have been asked. And also, I'll just share my screen as well. Where if I've got the right one here and, ooh, I hate it when that happens. There we go. So I think you should be able to see my screen. But this tweet, this long tweet stream from Nick Naywood, I believe is in the States just from the time that he was posting it. But he was talking about the $100 million secret of YouTubers and why they keep on shilling cardano and whatnot for whatever reason. So I wanted to break that down and go into that as well. But first off, let's talk about a couple of things about the stake pool. I know there's some people still joining, so let me just try and work out what tabs I actually need open. I don't need that. I need that one a little bit later. And okay, cool. So the live stream is working. Just making sure. Can you all hear me? I remember back in the day when I first did these things, I did it with the audio off and no one could hear me. And of course, because no one's talking back, I didn't realize until I checked the chat much later. And hey presto, no one could hear me for ages. Things you learn, huh? All right. So let's get into a couple of things in regards to our stake pool. I'm just assuming that you can hear me. If someone can just reply in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me. Otherwise, I am talking to myself. Volume is low. Thank you. And I will just amp that up and you should be able to hear that a lot better now. I don't have any feedback, so I can't tell. But that should be a lot better. Please let me know if that's good. Loud and clear. Fantastic. Thank you. Right, so first off is our stake pool. It's there was a question that was tweeted to me in DM, and they were asking why the rewards were dreadful, absolutely low. And I'll just bring up ADAOZ.org. It's a decent site where it actually will show some of the reward statistics that are coming through. So if you've never gone to this website before, you don't really know it too well, you can click on this rewards tab here. So I've just gone to my pools page. I typed in ADAOZ and that will come up to this page here. And if you go down to the rewards tab, you can see the history of epochs and how many rewards have been given out per epoch. And if I go down here, you can see that we had some shocker epochs. Now, when you look at this here and it says 2 out of 7.8, people look at that and go, that's a bit strange. So you only produced 2 blocks, but it looks like you're supposed to be producing 7.8. That's not quite right. 7.8, this number here, the second number, that comes from how many blocks you predictably should be producing by the amount of delegation that is to your pool. So at this point, we had 8.68 million ADA, and we were supposedly supposed to be produced 8.2 blocks, but we actually were allocated 10. So we actually got a lot more blocks in that epoch, and we got that beautiful 5.2% return for that epoch in terms of rewards. So our delegates were rewarded accordingly, and in total there was 6.51k in terms of ADA rewards. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little bit better on the live stream. But then in the following epoch, we were only allocated 2 blocks, and that's a painful number, especially when you are supposed to get 7.8. So essentially 8 blocks. So a quarter of what we're supposed to get. So you can see here it's a 27% return. So it's a absolutely abysmal return rate. So if you divide that by the amount of delegates that are actually on the pool, so our delegate number is dropping, but that's mainly because of Sunday swap and whatnot. You can see the difference here is you go 6,500 to 1,000, and people start asking questions. It's nothing we could have done. That's purely what the protocol has allocated our stake pool. We know by the end of, just before the end of this epoch 304, we can log into the pool. So all operators can do this if it's set up properly. We can log into our stake pools and have a look at exactly how many blocks would be assigned for the following epoch. So at the end of this one, I'll know how many blocks come in there. And sometimes I dread looking, because when I see that come through, it's like, oh God, another bad epoch. It brings our averages down. It looks terrible on here, on our stats here, and there's nothing we can do. It's just pure luck. And that's where this luck factor comes in. So if you ever wondered what the luck here, lifetime luck, that is the luck factor that affects us here. So every pool, as you grow and get to a really high level of saturation, you should level out to 100% or just under 100% really. So if you look at some of the more longer term, well, not longer term, but some of the older pools that have been around. So let's just go here, homepage. I'll just go to Pilot. Pilot's been around for a long time. You look at their stats. Oh, okay, 102. That's pretty average. Their rate of return on ADA is probably pretty much the same as ours at the moment as well. But yeah, that really averages out to a lifetime ROA of around 5% or 4.7% here. So it really does try and zero in on that. So if you look back at our pool here, we've had some epochs where in previous months where we continuously got high amounts of return. So you can see here we got the 7.98% return, so it's quite high. So it will try and level itself out and go back down to 3%. And you know, when you see that, it's like, oh, this is just painful. But that's the life of a stake pool operator. It's life of a stake pool operator. So hey there, guys. Tree, G Wiz, C Snipes. Morning. Well, it's evening here for me here. It's almost 11 p.m. Ardane, nice to meet you as well. So thank you for joining me on the live stream, guys. So that was one thing that was brought up. And if you're ever wondering why, when you're delegating and staking to your particular stake pool, why your rewards are so low and why they're so high the next one, it purely comes down to luck. Now you can verify this on on another website here, pooltool.io. This is another really cool website where you can check the health and the status of the pools that you're delegating to as well. Now, what you can see here, there's a couple of things here. I've got 2 different pools here. I don't know this one. It purely just comes up because I type in ADAO and ADAOZ, ADAOZ, so that's why it comes up. But I can do the comparison here. You can see the difference between the stats. This little thing here, epoch blocks, you can see 2 out of 2, but then with a star. So what we do with Pool Tool is we actually present to Pool Tool the amount of blocks that we've been allocated for that epoch. So we can tell it at that epoch changeover that we are supposed to get 2 blocks in the next epoch. And then we tell the Pool Tool site when we produce the blocks. Well, it can tell itself because it can see on the blockchain. And once those 2 blocks or whatever amount of blocks is minted, you get a little star. Isn't that nice? It's like a little badge of approval. So that lets you as delegates know that this is a perfect epoch. This pool hasn't missed blocks. It's just got allocated really shit blocks. That's purely it. The other thing here is the block height. So this is a bit of statistics that we send back to the Pool Tool website to say that we're totally in sync with the blockchain as well. So if you see a pool with a little yellow star and the block height here at all green, and it matches the block height here with the relevant tip there, that means the pool's in sync, it's performing as it should be, so everything's hunky-dory. Just that I got really shit blocks. That's it, really shit block allocation. You can see here, like this Lone Star Stake Pool, they're sending their tip as well. So they're willing to expose that they are synced up with the website, and they want to expose their data, not expose their data, but show that they're in sync, and be more transparent with their pool statistics. So you can see that there. Now I might click on where blocks per epoch. I'm trying to find, 26 out of 60. So this one here, Terra, it doesn't mean that they haven't produced it yet. So they're submitting to Pool Tools that they're supposed to get 60, and so far they've produced 26. Their tip is in sync as well. So if you check back at the end of the epoch, we're only 32% of the way into it. But if you check right at the end and look at this particular pool, if they have a little yellow star there, that means it was perfect epoch for them. They produced 60 blocks, which is quite an effort to make sure the pool was up all that time as well. So that's really cool. So that's the block allocation, the poor block allocation. Checking back here, Kiang, I hope you get Sunday swap selection if they expand past 30. Thank you very much. It's if I do, that would be absolutely amazing. But who knows? who knows? I'll just pull up something else in a moment as well when we go through that. Okay, so what was it? Block allocation. That was one thing I wanted to talk about. It was this other long tweet. So let's go through this extremely long tweet. Actually, I'll just talk about a little bit of stats on our pool at the moment, just so you have an idea of what's going on. So we managed to get a little post mention from Meld after their ISPO ended. So Meld, I don't know if I can get to their Medium post. Of course I should. Blog, that might take them to the Medium page. No. Medium, there it is. They did a little shout out for us, which was absolutely fantastic. It was really nice of them to do that. They mentioned us in their blog post here as a SPO that they love, and we managed to get a few more delegates out of it. Not huge, considering they have about 50 million, no, not 50, 500 million ADA left in their pools. So there's still a lot of people that need to move out of their pools. But we're picking up a little bit there, so it's interesting to see. Nowhere near as such as big as these ones, but we're doing okay. Compared to some of the other low saturation stake pools out there that are competing against this Sunday swap thing, we're doing okay. Our friends, for example, at Aussie Pool, they got some ADA delegation back. That's good. But if we have a look at here, they were taking a dip. So we can see that their delegation levels were going backwards a little bit. So that's never a good thing. And then if you look at our friend Malu, Linda Rowland's pool, they took a massive hit with Sunday Swap as well. So you can see their stats here, the delegation, the pool size going from 7.7, 7.5, and then taking that massive hit as delegation moved out to go to Sunday Swap. So it's a little unfortunate to see that activity, especially when Sunday Swap hasn't started yet. And some of these lower saturation pools really need the delegation to keep them afloat and keep them minting. But that's the game that we play. So that's all well and good. We work out different ways to gain delegates, and hopefully you stick around. And thank you so much for the support. Been using Brave as well. Pretty neat. Oh yeah, Brave browser. Oh, it's fantastic. Blocks all the ads. Highly recommend it for anyone. If you don't use Brave, I also collect the Brave rewards, BAT tokens. So if you're not collecting BAT tokens, you should. I managed to get about 100 USD worth of BTC, Bitcoin out of it. And that's purely just using a browser over a year. It took a year, but I've gotten some Bitcoin out of it. So highly recommend to use Brave browser. So let's get into this really long tweet here. I'm going to close down these tabs so I don't switch to them over and over again. But this really long tweet here by Jack Neilwood, who talks about YouTubers shilling ADA and making millions out of it. So I pulled together these, not pulled together these numbers, but I broke down the numbers here to try and actually see if they were correct and if they were, if these YouTubers were actually making this amount, and see if Jack's done the right calculations of this. Now, let's see, where is my calculator? I had it opened. Let me just check if you can see that. The live stream hasn't caught up yet, so I don't want to be punching in numbers on this calculator. You're not seeing anything. So yeah, you can see it. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to make sure that was going on the live stream. So I'm just going to pull out some of these numbers, actually pull up Ben Cohen's stake pool as well. So Ben's runs ITC into the cryptoverse. He runs a really cool YouTube channel. It does a lot of trade analysis. He's been running it for absolutely a long time. I've just pulled up his YouTube channel so you know who we're talking about. I'm not picking on him. He was just first on the list. So Ben. I'm actually a really fast typer, but anytime I know someone's watching, I'm really slow. Benjamin. There we go. So he's at 650,000 subscribers. So that is absolutely huge in the YouTube space. That's a decent amount of views. You can see each one of his video views here. His trade analysis has got 100K views easy. And he talks about various different chains, not just Cardano. He talks about all sorts of different things. But you can see here on his stake pool, if we go to his stake pool now, I'll type it in, ITC, into the cryptoverse. He's one of the Sunday swap pools. So his pools are quite saturated. He's gone from I think 2 pools to 3 now. So if we go ITC2, that will come up with 1 as well. And then ITC3, that comes up with his latest one that was spun up for the Sunday Swap ISO. You can see it's gone from 17 million in one epoch to 47 million. That's how many people are running over to Sunday Swap at the moment. Excuse me. Okay, so let's go into some of the numbers here. And if you look at, let's go back to his first pool. And we click on that rewards tab that I was talking about a little bit earlier. From here, we'll be able to see and try and work out an average amount of ADA that he would be making per epoch. Now, just as our pool is, you can see it really varies. Some epochs are low and some epochs are high. Here we got a 2% return on this one. So it was quite low. Excuse me, not as low as what we had, but definitely a lot lower. So I'm going to pick an epoch that seems about average, maybe this 4.71. So at this 4.7 for this epoch, with the fees that he's got, let's check out what his fees are. His fees are just under 4%, so he's taking 3.99% of the rewards that get allocated to delegators, and then also the fixed rate fee. So if we look at that, he's making 1,470 ADA per epoch. So I'm just going to use that as an average. Maybe if I use this one here as an average, it might be, no, I'll use this one here. So 1.47. Now, 365 days per year, divide that by 5. That's how many epochs, how many days in an epoch. So we got 73 epochs. So if we multiply, sorry, this has turned into a math session. Sorry if you're not ready for a bit of math. But anyway, 73 times 1,470 ADA per epoch is roughly 107,000 ADA per year. Excuse me. Looking at the current price here, I've got my screen, my stream deck. It is $1.38. Was $1.40 before when I was doing these calculations. So Ben is earning about roughly 148,000 per stake pool per year. So this one, if we're just taking this random number here as an average and multiplying it by the amount of epochs, so if he's consistently minting blocks, which he is because of the size, we can see that he's making this much per pool per year. Now he's got 3 pools now, so if we multiply that by 2, that's fair enough. But his third pool is building up in saturation because of the Sunday swap allocation. So I can easily times that. I can safely assume that all 3 pools will be minting blocks at a decent level, at the same rate, at the same fee, and maybe averaging around that 1.4K per epoch. So times that by 3 equals, there we go. So 444,000 USD per year. So if I go back to this Twitter post, yeah, that number's pretty much spot on. The price of ADA has fluctuated since it's been written. So that is a decent amount of ADA. Now, if we break down some of these other ones here, it's probably almost accurate as well. So it's interesting to see. But his point there is definitely correct and true in regards to how much money these stake pools are making. Now, let me just compare it to our own stake pool. Now, it's probably good to also break down how many owners there are of the pool, and pool owners 1. Okay, so it's just little Benny. Let's pull up our. Do I still have mine open? No, ADAOZ. Our stake pool is quite different because we started late, and I don't have 650,000 YouTube followers. So we have 5 stake pool operators. So our rewards are divided amongst the team. So it's a little bit different there. Excuse me. Our margin, sorry about the coughing, it's going to hurt your ears. The margin here is 0. So we don't charge any margin on our delegates' rewards. That's because we are a small stake pool, and we do intend to charge fees in the future. But the way that I've set this up is we won't charge anything until we've reached that 10 million mark. So between 10 and 25 million ADA, we charge that 1% fee. So it's still a long way to go before that happens. Now, if I go back to our pool here and click on the rewards tab, you can see how much rewards we're getting per epoch. And because we're not charging any sort of fee, even though our pool delegates, they're getting like a 5.6, 3, 4, 4.8% return on their ADA, we get that 340 ADA per epoch. So if I pull in this calculation again, and you can see how much we earn, 340 times 73 epochs per year, 25,000 ADA rounded up, multiply it by the price of ADA today, 3.8, and it is 34K a year. Not enough to live off on a wage here in Australia. It was a little bit better before when the price of ADA was higher, but not at the moment, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. To have this sustainable for a wage in Australia, it needs to be more around the 70K mark. So it needs to double at least to live off and make a stake pool a stable thing. Now, you're probably wondering the cost and other aspects in regards to running the stake pool. Our server costs, I can't pull it up because I didn't bring it up a little bit earlier, but our server costs are roughly 500 Australian a month to run the stake pool. So just remember that number. Let's round it up to 35,000. 500 times 12, about that much. So 35,000. Yep. So that's total profit at current price minus operating cost. I don't factor in any time that I do for these videos, educational content, anything I write in the blog. So all that is, I just can't I have no idea how much time I spend on stuff and writing up the content, so it's a little hard to factor in that time. But I'm pretty sure I'm working for maybe $2 an hour, or something really stupid like that. So it's something weird. Anyway, so if we look at that, it's roughly 29,000. But there's also tax. You pay tax on your ADA rewards received at any point in time. At that price. So even if I just average it down to like 30%, so 30% has to be taken off. So we take off maybe 10,000 for tax. So maybe 19,000 afterwards, if we're lucky. And then we divide that amongst the pool owners. So being a smaller pool operator without any fees is quite difficult. Some other pool operators are mission-driven pools that actually donate parts of this profit as well to their charities that they're supporting. So if you take off like another 5 or 10% off that, it's even lower. So it makes it a little hard to operate it long-term, or not so much operate as a long-term, but to operate it as a full-time gig, a full-time business. So that's a little bit of insight, so you can understand how it compares to some other operators. So some of these other big boys, they're doing quite well, and credit to them. Ben has a massive YouTube channel. He's been doing YouTube videos for a very long time, and the time and effort that he's put in. The pool would not be the only way that he's monetizing his content and anything else. I'm pretty sure if you go back but years through his content, there'll be other ways that he's earning revenue from his content creation journey. So there's a lot of different things. You can see from some of these other content creators, where'd that list go? Here. All these people are doing all sorts of different things. Bitboy Crypto is into all sorts of different aspects. Crypto Capital Ventures, recruiting firm. Dan, he's doing all sorts of different things as well. Jason Pisano, he's here on the Gold Coast with me, actually. I haven't met him yet personally, but he's also doing his online course and all sorts of things. So it's not just the state pool that they're earning revenue from. But let's have a look at some of these other things that they talk about. Yeah, go. About 5% a year. Yep, that is correct. But if you're in Cardano, you got to incentivize people to promote the asset. Yeah, that's kind of true. The more you pay the validators, the more they'll work to promote ADA and get you to stake it. If you got a captive audience, it's a beautiful business model. Very true. These guys do have a captive audience. When you're trying to delegate to a stake pool, you're choosing a stake pool for the first time. You go to YouTube, you go to Google, you're trying to work it out. You need to find someone you trust, someone that's educating you. That's why we write educational content. In exchange, we hope that you might delegate to us. That's the whole point of it. Let me just check the YouTube stream. Okay. Is it common for SPOs to use rewards to cover overhead, or do most have day jobs and think about tax implications to selling ADA every week? That is very true. I don't sell any of our ADA that we collect. And hello, SK7. Every bit of ADA that comes into the pool is pretty much locked away. We don't sell any of it. So anything that I do sell is considered capital gains. And we have to pay capital gains tax on that as well. So not only that 30% that I took off in terms of tax, but then also the up to 50% of capital gains if I do decide to sell it and it's gone high. If it's low, then I've made a loss. So yeah, I actually don't use the ADA rewards to pay for operating costs. I'm just holding on to it, going for the long 10-year play and see what happens in 10 years. Either I've wasted 10 years of my life or it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm not wasting 10 years of my life. I do believe in ADA. I do believe in all the DeFi protocols, and I do believe we're really early. Thank you for asking that question. Let's go back here. Where was I? Twitter. There we go. Now, I'm not sure. Hang on. What was this one? The system works like your neighbor, Greg. Watch a video shilling Cardano, buy some ADA, lock it up to his favorite pools. YouTube validated pool makes 5%. The YouTuber doubles their money yearly. Greg waits for ADA to moon. Kind of that scenario, maybe. It is something that did attract me to becoming a pool operator as opposed to just staking ADA. Like I'm all for earning ADA, earning crypto, and finding ways to earn it. So if I wasn't a pool operator, I probably would have gone down an NFT path and built a really cool project. I just had an interview with Tommy from ADA Ninjas. And they've built a absolutely amazing CNFT project around manga comics. And, I've seen these guys around. Their artwork is absolutely brilliant. But what is amazing is the experience that they're building around the manga, the music that they're building, the way they're engaging the community. And, if I didn't go down the stake pool path, I would have ended up down the NFT path. That's for sure. Just check the stream. Let's get rid of some of these screens again. And I'll just check the live stream. Vast Tech. No idea what that means, but hey, welcome guys. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching. So let's go down a little bit further here. This is not a conspiracy theory. Cardano actually recommends that validators set a part of their budget aside for running a YouTube channel. Now, I did look at this and I did try and find where this bit of documentation came from, and I can't find it at all myself. It's written in European markup where the $ is at the end, so I don't know if it's actually Cardano Foundation or cardano.org or an IG website. But this is probably sound advice if you were considering starting a stake pool. You do need to think about advertising it and how to market your stake pool, how to attract people to it. Otherwise, no one's going to stake to you. If you look at the majority of the stake pools on ADA pools here, how many are there now? There are 3,131 pools. When I started, there were 1,600 pools, and that was only earlier this year. So now that's numbers almost doubled. And how on earth are you going to pick out of the 3,000 pools? You need to stand out of the crowd. Otherwise, people are just going to delegate straight to the first pool on the list. It's got a love heart next to it. Must be good, right? A million pledged. I'll just delegate here. That's how people pick. It seems good. How many people are delegated here? Delegators, 11,000. Cool, right? So it must be good. It's essentially how people pick. It's until you dive into the Cardano ecosystem and get to know your operator, it's you just pick top of the list. Number one must be great. So if you go down to the bottom of the list, page 51, these pools here, some of them are ISO pools, but like these guys here that are just starting out, they still actually have a decent amount of ADA in there. So that's almost at a minting level. But let's go page 49. Now this pool here, this size, it's going to be very hard for them to, oh wow, they've actually minted. I'm actually really surprised in that 10%, 10% fee. This is a retiring pool. Yeah, well, they're still minting there as well. I'm very, very surprised. We might get a little bit smaller. So this is a very small, very, very low saturation pool. But it would be very hard for them to gain any traction. And if you're looking at this giant list of pools, like you look at these ones here, they've got no return on ADA at the moment. So you look at their luck rate, their return rate. The numbers are 0, so why would you delegate to any of them unless you actually knew the person? So it's very hard. So you got to stick out from the crowd and actually shine and market yourself. So it does. You do have to market. Okay, so how much do these validators earn? Like a lot. So that was that graph that came up. So yeah, some of these guys are doing quite well. Look at the YouTubers have to eat too, and it's possible that you truly believe Cardano is going to the moon, but you think disclosure on just how much you make might make the whole pursuit a little less sketchy. Yeah, maybe. I do like the transparency. Back when I first started the stake pool, our stake pool, I tried to do a weekly thing about how we're progressing, how we're updating our financials and all that. It just got too much. It's a lot of effort. I'm more than happy to tell people, and you can look up everything on chain as well. You can see exactly how much we're making, so it's all there. But a video like this every once in a while doesn't hurt, I guess. Cool. All right, where were we? Let me know what you think, especially if you're a YouTuber and you run a stake pool. Jack, I'll post this video link to you. I do agree with you. Some of these guys do make a lot of money off their stake pools, and it's up to them really if they want to tell their delegates how much money they're making. But like I said, it can be looked up on chain. Obviously, you worked it all out as well. You can work out exactly how much ADA they're earning. But not all YouTubers are making that much. It is a hard grind for some of the smaller guys. But these guys have made a really big following, and they do have a big following, and they're just monetizing it now, I guess. If you like this, please do me a favor. Go back to the first tweet, like the link below. Okay, and do the retweet thing. Yeah, cool. All right. I did that a little bit earlier, and I did a follow as well. Okay, and then this is when the Cardano community chimed in and gave him grief, I think. So there's a couple of well-known Cardano enthusiasts that jumped in and I think gave him a lot of grief. And he's commented that he won't talk about Cardano again for a while, for the foreseeable future. Yep, cool. There we go. So what do you think, guys? Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the situation. If you've got any questions, I'll open it up for questions at the moment. What do we got here? Do you use bare metal or VPS in the cloud? I use VPS on cloud infrastructure. I used to have bare metal. This is my bare metal setup. Don't know if you can see that. It's a Raspberry Pi, but it doesn't handle the amount of data and traffic that's going through things at the moment. I know there's ways that you can optimize the Raspberry Pi to make it work a lot better, but it was running hot. Here in Brisbane, Gold Coast, it's really hot, really humid. I need air conditioning. I need fans. The fan in that thing is noisy. You can hear it from a couple of rooms away, and we have solid concrete walls. It's just doesn't really run well. And if it conks out, one of our relays will go down. So I can't run the bare metal server where I am at the moment. If I could run bare metal, it would have reduced our costs a lot more. We wouldn't be paying as much. But yeah, unfortunately, we can't. So it's not one of our options that available to us. So that's it. That's the whole pool update. That's a random chat that I wanted to have, and a response back to Jack Neilwood as well in regards to his tweet about Cardano stake pool operators. I totally agree. Transparency is a cool thing, but it's totally up to the pool operator if they want to be transparent about it. Again, you can see all the details on chain. You can look it up and work out exactly how much ADA someone's making. Whether the person believes in ADA or not, or they're just shilling it, I don't know. I can't comment on that. But for me, I absolutely love Cardano. I absolutely love all the DeFi protocols and everything that Cardano stands for. And I wouldn't be doing interviews at 5 a.m. and then all the way up to 1 a.m. All day, every day, and editing and all this other stuff if I didn't believe in the project and absolutely loved what I'm doing. So it's quite a passion. That's probably a good way to put it. Any other questions, guys? Please feel free to ask. And welcome to anyone else that's just joined the live stream as well. Thank you. Are you a coder? I am. I used to be a coder. I'm a PHP developer. I build Joomla-based websites, WordPress websites. Moved into building React front ends and using WordPress as a backend. And actually, let me just show you a little something that our team has been working on. I run a web agency by day, PB Web Dev. This is our company. Cool. GitHub, and we'll go to Cardano Press. Cardano Press. Bring on Cardano Press. So this is a plugin that we're working on within our agency. We're building it out for a couple of clients as well, and for stateful operators as well. So if you're a stateful operator and you're running a WordPress website, you can install this plugin onto your site. It uses the Blockfrost API, which is free, so you can get a Blockfrost API key, plug it in, put in the details of your pool, and you can do something like this. This is a staging site that we just have. Where is it? Stage. There it is. Delegation. So if you ever wondered how to get the delegate with NAMI button on your site, we built it as a plugin. So if you're wanting to get this and you're a stateful operator and you have a WordPress site, if all the stars aligned, you can have a little page where you can direct users to. And if you have the NAMI wallet, such as this one here with test ADA in it, let me just disconnect from here. So we try to, this entire thing we built on the Ronin Universe website, which is an NFT project that we built, but we extended it and we kept on developing new things for ourselves and for the community. So if you click on connect, you can connect your NAMI wallet. It does its little connecting thing, thinking. What's the bet this isn't going to work for me in a demo? There we go. All right. I hate demos sometimes. So here we go. So now these details here, the Tails Metro Mermaids, that's hard-coded into it. Oh, well, it's not hard-coded. It's an option in the back end of WordPress. You can put in whatever pool ID you want. So you put in your own pool ID if you're a stateful operator. You can do that. And then when you click on Delegate, processing, you get the little NAMI notification. So the NAMI wallet will pop up, and you can sign the transaction and you can delegate directly with NAMI from the website. So it makes that user experience really easy. You can say, oh, do you want to delegate to my stateful? Just go to the website, click on NAMI, delegate, and you're done. Delegation successful. So I was already delegated to the pool, and it gives you a little hash transaction record so you can see it on chain that you've delegated and all that. But that's it. It's really cool, really quick, really easy. There's none of this like stats and whatever, and all these numbers that you need to worry about. If you meet a delegate online and you've spoken to them and you said, "No, just go to my delegation page," open up your NAMI wallet and you're done. It's nice, quick, easy. That is all open source. It's all. I've lost my GitHub. But if you're interested and you're a stateful operator, reach out. I'll find the link. I'll tweet it out again. You can install it, get it up and running, and you have your own delegation page on your own website. I can't tell if this hands up as a question or is it just saying hi. What is the number one skill set required to run a stateful? It's marketing. It is all marketing. 100% marketing. The setting up a stateful is easy. Like if you're wanting to set one up, you can follow guides. It's Coin Cashew. There it is, how to build a Cardano stateful. It even takes you through the security aspects of what you need to do. So if you're wanting to set it up, follow this guide. Set it up for testnet, not mainnet. So that way you don't need to worry about security vulnerabilities. Run it for 3 months, half a year. Get used to upgrading and doing all those aspects. Follow every single one of these security guidelines and minimum requirements, and you get the stateful up and running. As if you're used to servers, this is an easy process for you. What we found was the marketing and gaining delegation. It's that's the hard bit. Like I said a little bit earlier, when we started, there were 1,600 or so, about 1,500 pools. Now there's double that. There's 3,131 pools. So marketing, standing out from the crowd, that is the hardest thing about stake pool ops. I'm looking to become an SBO. Do you offer any consulting services? Arneg, you can contact me by Twitter anytime you like. You can hit me up for a video call, and more than happy to jump on and chat for a little bit about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to set up. Give you some advice and pointers, some servers or whatever, to services to use. DigitalOcean is a good one. Linode is another one. And there's a couple of other providers as well. If you're wanting to start looking at that, we got affiliate links on our website. If you want to use them, we get $5, and I think you get $5 as well. Yay, $5. It's a lot of money for some people. But yeah, that's a good place to start. Just hit me up. If you want to contact me, or if anyone wants to contact me, if you go to Twitter and you go to profile, we got this little thing here called Linktree. Where is it? Schedule a podcast interview. You can use that. Just follow it up and let me know that it's not a podcast interview you're after, and it's just a chat that you want. And I'm a little bit more flexible with the times if it's just a chat. Because there's a limited amount of podcasting time I have left. Yeah. Next year's a little bit better. Yeah, solid. But not now. Not too close to Christmas. There we go. Back to the questions. Right. So I think I've been going for an hour. Almost an hour. I might wrap it up soon. It is late. I do have interviews again tomorrow morning. So if there's nothing else that you guys want to chat about, if there's nothing else that you want to ask me about the pool or anything, I'll call it a night. I'll just give it a few more minutes because of this lag. Cool. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, and people are already dropping off. It is bedtime for me. So thank you very much, guys. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research, etc., etc. You know the drill. So until next time, everyone, please keep your seed phrases safe and secure. Don't let anyone see them. I'll catch you all next time. Thank you, everyone.